Hello. Okay. Reading 20 minutes to practice my English. Yeah. Let me see. Here. This way, he shouted, and he began to run upstairs into the entrance hall. It was no good hoping to hear anything here. The babble of talk from the Halloween feast was echoing out of the great hall. Babble. What does babble means? Babble. The talker said something in a quick, confused, executive steady way. Okay. Harry sprinted up the marble staircase to the first floor, Ron and Hermione clattering behind him. Clattering. 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 Harry, what the we? Shh. Harry strained, I guess strained. Harry strained his ears distantly from the floor above and growing fainter still. Fainter still, he heard the voice. I smell blood. I smell blood. His stomach lurched. Wow. It's going to kill someone, he shouted, and ignoring Ron's and Hermione's bewildered faces. He ran up the next flight of steps, three at a time, trying to listen over his own pounding footsteps. Harry hurtled. Oh, I keep forgot what hurtle means. It seems it seems like watch this a lot. Hurdle, okay. He hurtled around the hall of the second floor, Ron and Hermione panting behind him, not stopping until they turned a corner into the last deserted passage. Harry, what was that all about? Said Ron, wiping the sweat off his face. I couldn't hear anything. But Hermione gave a sudden gasp, pointing down the corridor. Look! Something was shining on the wall ahead. They approached slowly, squinting through the darkness. Futile words had been daubed on the wall between two windows, shimmering, shimmering in the light cast by the flaming torches. The chamber of secrets has been opened. Enemies of the enemy of the air, beware! What's that thing hanging underneath? Said Ron, a slight quiver in his voice. Quiver, right? I didn't press it wrong, right? I hope. Quiver in his voice. As they edged nearer, Harry almost slipped. There was a large puddle of water on the floor. Ron and Hermione grabbed him, and they inched toward the message, eyes fixed on the dark shadow beneath it. All three of them realized what it was at once, and leaped backward with a splash. Mr. Norris, the caretaker's cat, was hanging by her tail from the torch back bracket. Bracket. She was stiff as a board. Wait, what? She was stiff as a board, her eyes wide and staring. But the cat dead? No way. For a few seconds, they didn't move. Then Ron said, "Let's go, let's get out of here." Should we try to help? Harry began awkwardly. "Trust me," said Ron. "We don't want to be found here." But it was too late. A rumble, a throw of distant thunder, told them that the feast had just ended. From either end of the corridor where they stood came the sound of hundreds of feet climbing the stairs, and a loud, happy talk of well-fed people. Next moment, students were crashing into the passage from both ends. The chatter, the bustle, the bustle, the noise stayed suddenly as the people in front spotted the hanging cat. Harry, Ron, and Hermione stood alone in the middle of the corridor. A the silence. Oh God. Yeah, the silence fell among the mass of students pressing forward to see the grisly sight. Then someone shouted through the quiet, "Enemies of the hair." Oh, I forgot that. Right? Oh shit, air. Enemy of the air. Beware, you will be next. Montblanc. It was Draco Malfoy. He had pushed to the front of the crowd, his cold eyes alive, his usually bloodless face flushed, as he grinned at the sight of the hand. Immobile cat. Well, that's weird. The writing of the wall. What's going on here? What's going on? Attracted no doubt by Malfoy's shout, Argus Finch comes shuddering his way through the crowd. Then he saw Mrs. Doris and fell back, clutching his face in horror. My cat! My cat! What's happened to Mrs. Doris? He shook it, and his puppy eyes fell on Harry. You! He He screeched. You murdered my cat. You've killed her. I'll kill you. Argus Dumbledore had arrived on the scene, followed by a number of other teachers. In seconds, he had swept past Harry, Ron, and Hermione, de- and detached Mrs. Norris from the torch bracket. "Come with me, Argus," he said to Finch. "You too, Mr. Potter, Mr. Wesley, Miss Granger." Lockhart stepped forward eagerly. "My office is near it, headmaster. Just upstairs. Please feel free." "Thank you, Glindery," said Dumbledore. The side, the silent crowd parted to let them pass. Lockhart looking excited and important. "Hurry after Dumbledore," so the Professor, McGonagall, and Snape. As they entered Lockhart's dark, darkened, darkened office, there was a flurry, flurry, flurry. There was a flurry of movement across the walls. Harry saw several of the Lockharts in the picture dodging out of sight, their hair in rollers. The real Lockhart lit the candles on his desk and stood back. Dumbledore laid Mrs. Norris on the polished surface and began to examine her. Harry, Ron, and Hermione exchanged tense looks and sank into chairs outside the pool of candlelight, watching. The tip of Dumbledore's long, crooked, crooked, crooked nose was barely an inch from Mrs. Norris's fur. He was looking at her closely through his half-moon spectacles. Oh, I still forgot what that means. Jesus, that's so crazy. spectacle, half-moon spectacles, his long fingers gently prodding and poking. Professor McGonagall was bent almost as close. Her eyes narrowed. Snape loomed behind him, half in shadow, wearing a most peculiar expression. It was as though he was trying hard not to smile, and Lockhart was hovering around all of them. Hovering. What's wrong with this Mr. Lockhart? What? Hovering around all of them, making suggestions. If definitely occurs that killed her, probably the transmor transmogration. What the fuck? Transmogrify tor torture. What the ha 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 ha? Wait a minute. Uh, okay. Transmogrify torture. Transmogrify torture. Uh-huh. I've seen it used many times, so unlucky I wasn't there. I know a very counter curse. Counter curse that would have saved her. Lockhart's commands were punctuated by Flinch's dry, racking sobs. He was slumped in the chair by the desk, unable to look at Mrs. Norris, his face in his hands, much as he detested Flinch. Harry couldn't help feeling a bit sorry for him, though not nearly as sorry as he felt for himself. If Dumbledore believed Flinch, he would be expelled for sure. Dumbledore was now muttering strange words under his bent breath and tapping Mrs. Norris with his wand, but nothing happened. She continued to look as though she had been recently stuffed. I remembered I remember something very similar happening in Aoga Ogadoku. What the fuck is that Japanese? Said Lockhart. A series of attacks. The four stories in my autobiography, I was able to provide the townfolk with various amulets, which cleared the matter up at once. The photographs of Lockhart on the wall were all nodding in agreement as he talked. One of them had forgotten to remove his hair net. At last, Dumbledore straightened up. She's not dead, Earth, he said softly. Lockhart stopped. Lockhart stopped abruptly in the middle of counting the number of murders he had prevented. Not dead? Chucked Finch, looking through his finger at Mrs. Norris. But why she oh, stiff and frozen. She had been petrified, said Dumbledore. Ah, I thought so, said Lockhart. But now, I cannot say. Ask him, shrieked Finch. Shrieked Finch, turning his blotched blotch. Okay. Okay, his blotch and tear-stained face to Harry. No second year could have done this, said Dumbledore firmly. Firmly. It would take dark magic of the most advanced. He did it, Finch spat, his pouchy face purpling. You saw what you wrote on the wall? He found in my office. He knows I'm a Finch's face worked horribly. He knows I'm a script, he finished. I never touched Mrs. Norris, Harry said loudly, uncomfortably aware of everyone looking at him, including all the lockers on the walls. And I don't even know what a script is. Rubbish, sneered Finch. He saw my Quickspell letter. If I might speak, headmaster, said Snape from the shadows, and Harry's sense of foreboding increased. Foreboding? What? Foreboding increased. He was sure nothing Snape had to say was going to do him any good. Potter and his friends may have simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time, he said. A slight sneer. Wow. I mean, this is the first time that Snape helped Harry in person. Oh, that is like in front of Harry. He helped Harry, but that it's not that obvious in the in the past. Curry. Okay. Slight sneer curling his mouth as though he doubted it. But we do have a set of suspicious circumstances here. Why was he in the upstairs corridor at all? Why wasn't he at a Halloween feast? Harry, Ron, and Hermione all launched into an explanation about the Death Day party. There were hundreds of ghosts. They'll tell you we were there. But why not join the feast afterward? Said Snape, his black eyes glittering in the candlelight. Why go up to the corridor? Ron and Hermione looked at Harry. Because, Harry said, his heart thumping very fast. Something told him it would sound very far-fetched. Oh, far-fetched if he told them he had been led there by a bodiless voice no one but he could hear, because we were tired and wanted to go to bed. We were tired and wanted to go to bed, he said. Without any supper, said Snape. Uh, Actually, I don't know why. Maybe you can just tell the truth. I mean, is that far-fetched? You're even a goddamn wizard, so there's a lot of things that doesn't make any sense in logic, so it's fine, right? Triumphant. A triumphant smile flickering flickering across his gaunt face. I didn't think ghosts provides food fit for living people at their parties. We weren't hungry, said Ron loudly as his stomach gave a huge rumble. Snape's nasty smile winded. Widened. Oh, she is widened. Okay, fine. I suggest, Headmaster, that part has not been entirely truthful, he said. It might be a good idea if we were deprived of certain privileges until he is ready to tell us the whole story. I personally feel he should be taken off a Gryffindor Quidditch team until he is ready to be honest. Really? Really? Severance, said Professor McGonagall sharply. I see no reason to stop the boy playing Quidditch. This cat wasn't hit over the head with a broomstick. There's no evidence at all that Potter has done anything wrong. Dumbledore was giving Harry a searching look. His twinkling light blue gaze made Harry feel as though he were being x-rayed. Innocent until proven guilty. Sovereign, Severance, he said firmly. Snape looked furious. So did Flinch. My cat has been petrified, he shrugged, his eyes popping. I want to see some punishment. We will be able to cure her, Argus, said Dumbledore patiently. Professor Sprout recently managed to procure some mandrakes. As soon as they had reached their full size, I will have a potion made that will revive Mrs. Norris. I will make it, Dr. put it in. I must have done it 100 times. I could whip up. Let me just fire this stupid ass Duckard. Whipped up a mandrake's restorative draught in my sleep. Excuse me, said Snape icily, but I believe I am the potions master at this school. There was a very awkward pause. You may go, Dumbledore said to Harry. Ron and Hermione, they went as quickly as they could without actually running. When they were a floor up from Locker's office, they turned into an empty classroom and closed the door quietly behind them. Harry squinted at his friends' darkened faces. Do you think I should have told them about that voice I heard? No, said Ron, without hesitation. Hearing voice no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world. Something in Ron's voice made Harry ask, You believe me, don't you? Of course I do, said Ron quickly. But you must admit it's weird. I know it's weird, said Harry. The whole thing's weird. What was that writing on the wall about? The chamber has been opened. What's that supposed to mean? You know, it rings a sort of bell, said Ron slowly. I think someone told me a story about a secret chamber at Hogwarts once. Might have been Bell. And what on earth a squib? Asked Harry. To his surprise, Ron. Oh, fuck, why I always feel it wrong? Stifled a snigger. Stifled a snigger. Well, it's not funny really, but as it's French, he said. A squib is someone who was born into a wizarding family but hasn't got any magic powers. Kind of opposite of muggle-born wizard, but squibs are quite unusual. If Flinch is trying to learn magic from a quick, quick spell course, I reckon he must be a squib. It would explain a lot, like why he hates students so much. Ron gave a satisfied smile. He's bitter. A clock chimed, I don't know. Wow, a chime. A clock chimed somewhere. Midnight, said Harry. We better get to bed before Snape comes along and tries to friend us for something else. Okay. That's it. That's today's 20 minutes. Okay, I read how much pages? I read 8 pages today. Huh. It's actually not bad.